Let's go, everybody. Get this party started. Welcome. We are getting it all up in here for a live Q&A on how to have a healthier holidays. I'm pulling up questions from my Instagram so I can see what people want to hear about, talk about, the fun things. I'm using my little plant as my prop here, so that's fun. And I might move my to make it a little bit more centered. Come on. And I don't like that, but that's okay. This is why we gotta play with the settings and make it work. Oh, come on. Better. So, where I want it to be. Eventually, I'll have an even better setup for streaming, but until then, this is what we're dealing with. So, first things first, welcome. For those of you who haven't followed me before, Caroline DeMesquita, also known as Strong Sweet Caroline. I have been in health and fitness for about 7 years now, and one of the things I do with my coaching as well as on my social media is I try to help men and women manage their life to create better balance, especially around food, their emotions, overall health and well-being. I'm a strong believer that each person is bio-individual, so one person's superfood is another person's poison type of mentality. Same way goes with training, and a lot of times when we go into this time of year, there's a lot of added pressure to show up a certain way. Maybe you have holiday family traditions that resonated a lot with some other generations, but don't necessarily resonate with yours. Maybe one of those is gift giving, and you're not really a gift person, but you feel obligated to get gifts because other people are going to give you gifts. So how do you mitigate that? How do you mitigate making time for yourself to go to the gym, to cook your own healthy meals instead of ones that other people prepared, and not making them feel like the food that they're making for you is bad, that you don't appreciate it, but rather that you have a different goal or a different lifestyle that maybe you've never conveyed to them before or don't really know how to have that conversation. So that's kind of where we're at today. And one of the questions that I got is, how do you go into the holiday season not feeling as stressed? So that's a really bold question because a lot of people get stressed over different things. For some, it might be that they want to have control, are creating this foundation of boundaries that support you, protect your energy, protect your happiness and well-being. What do boundaries look like? Each person is going to be different. Maybe one of your boundaries is every single morning you need 30 minutes by yourself before you join the rest of the family. Maybe because you have family staying over, that looks like you going into the spare bedroom, doing your meditation and journaling. Maybe you go to the gym and sit in the sauna for 10-20 minutes. Maybe you go outside for a walk, putting on a podcast or some relaxing music, something to set the tone for your day. Another boundary might be in certain conversations and topics that you know trigger you, and you don't want to offend someone because they want to talk about something that you're not really interested in. So perhaps when a relative starts to bring up politics, and you don't really want to talk about politics, you say, hey, Aunt Karen, I love you, and I know that you really love talking about this, but I would love to talk about ABC. Change the subject, change the conversation. Or you say, you know, I'm actually taking a break from talking about this because I notice it stirs up some emotions in me, and I want to keep our holidays as joyful as possible. And then you change the conversation. So it's kind of taking that leadership in your discussions with family and friends. And I don't know why, I'm the same way, but a lot of people have a hard time doing it with our loved ones versus a total stranger. And I think it's because we're afraid of offending people. But at the end of the day, you and your happiness is the only thing that you can protect. No one else is going to do that for you. So keep that in mind, and hopefully that helps to mitigate some of those challenges about stress. Somebody else asked, how do you bring your food with you for a holiday event without judgment? You know, I have done this for several years. I would bring my own packed meals. I would cook my own food. I would sometimes eat food that other people cooked for me. Communication. Having that conversation ahead of time to whoever's hosting, saying, hey, I love that you cook this meal for everyone. I know it means a lot to you. I'm actually going a different way with my dietary needs right now. Super bio-individual and depends on your time and availability. So maybe you only have a couple days that you're going to be able to access a gym because you're the one traveling. Make those days count and be flexible with what types of workouts you do. Even if you're in prep or you're in a very strict programming, the best athletes are the ones that can modify and make it work, period. Don't be afraid to change things up. Use the equipment that you have. Bring your own equipment like bands. A lot of stuff can be done with bands and like dumbbells, so even in a hotel gym, right? Don't be afraid to do that. And if you're traveling, you can always get a guest pass for some gyms. A lot of gyms are open during the holidays too, so keeping that in mind. Super duper important. Yes, you should get some activity, and maybe you make it a family thing that you guys all go for a walk after you eat. Help the food digest a little bit. Then you can, you know, maybe some of your other family members want to try lifting weights and they've never done it before. So there's an opportunity for you to engage them in something that you're passionate about, making it more of a community activity. So I hope that's a little bit of help there. Let's see. What do you do when you're feeling very moody and emotionally unstable? So that's really hard because a lot of people do have emotions come up. Maybe you want to be more alone, not spending time with friends, family, because it's just a sensitive time. You know, a lot of people have past traumas during holidays, things that stir up. Once again, we go back to the boundaries and communication as your foundation. And then recognizing in yourself your triggers, but then also how can you manage those triggers on your own. So some people, maybe you will grip this part of your hand is a really good pressure point in helping relieve tension and stress. One thing that Gabby Bernstein does is she taps, I believe it's between one of the knuckles is another meridian point, and you can just tap it to yourself under the table if you're at the kitchen table or whatnot. Having your phone and journaling and writing it out, getting it out of your brain is extremely helpful. In therapy, they talk a lot about getting your thoughts processed, but they have to get out of your body. That's why journaling is super duper important to help you do that. So, otherwise, those are pretty much the questions I've gotten. And if you guys have any other questions, I am hosting a 4-week holiday health challenge. So what that looks like is for the end of November into December. So starting November 28th, right after Thanksgiving weekend, I'm hosting a 4-week challenge to help with your fitness, health goals, some recipes, some workouts, do weekly live feeds going over managing stress like we just talked about, managing food selection, balancing your macros versus, foods that you don't normally eat. How do you help digestion? Things like that. I will be including in that, as well as some guides for just general lifestyle, overall health and well-being. So if you're interested in that, there are links in the description of this video. Would love to have you all join me. The sign-up will end November 21st, so 1 week from today, next Monday. But if you are interested, would love to see you all there and continue to have fun doing, the holiday season together. It's a part of community and being able to do everything that we can supporting one another. So I hope this helps somebody out there and continue the holiday spirit, and look forward to seeing you all in the next video.